think we have 20 seconds.
Oh. We got time.
Yeah, let's see. As we're building our audience.
We're live.
Okay, so we are live. Hello everyone, I'm James Governale, this is Beth Lasoff, and we are here talking with you about our holiday tips for wellness and goodness.
Goodness, yes.
And
enjoy the holidays.
Lots of stress-free holiday action going on for you. So if you want, at any given time, you could post some comments and also any questions, and I'll be glancing at the comment section there. But I'm here to ask Beth questions in the meantime, and so we could share some of these tips with you. And I'll just have Beth quickly introduce herself as well, and then we'll get on to some questions.
Thanks, James. So I'm Beth. I own Faith's Way Fitness. I'm a personal trainer and a nutrition coach here in New York City. I work with people actually beyond New York City, though. I've got people all over and across the country, and really, across state lines. So a lot of times, it's holiday season, as James was saying. So we're love to focus on what are some tips and tricks and how to stay stress-free, healthy, and enjoy the holidays at the same time. Is in the fitness world, we still have people. People are still training. I just did a class last night, Monday night, and we're gonna even go even after the holidays.
Well,
so
this
it
is
doesn't
New York
matter.
City.
It's New York City. This is true. It's New York City, and it's like if something's closed on a holiday, people are like, why? Why isn't it happening? So I love to cater to people if they're in town, and if I'm in town, why not? And even for people that are traveling, I work with a lot of people that travel too, so I try to keep them on track and still coach them. Technology is a wonderful thing, and you can use, phone and Skype and Facebook Live and things like that to keep people on track. So as a trainer here, I work with all different types of people at different types of levels. And whether it's you're just coming for a class, you need nutrition coaching, or you need something a little bit more personable. Sometimes it's really just having someone to stay accountable for, which is really important. And if that's not a trainer or a specific coach in your life, I tell people to use their family and their friends just to remain that accountability and to motivate each other, because we all need that. Whether it's go to a workout class together or just to keep someone on track. Whether it's holiday time food, whether it's I just need motivation to get up in the morning. Maybe a reminder to eat breakfast, something so simple as, did you eat today?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think like a trap that people get into is like, oh, I'm going to be eating so much at this party later on, so they totally shift their day, and it's just like, no, do your regular routine in the morning. So is that a big thing that you notice with people, that it's like it's just those shifts in their schedule kind of throw them off?
Sometimes where they're like trying to pre-plan, like, okay, I know I have this holiday party tonight. Work parties, for those that are in the workforce, it's holiday party season, and some people have more than one to go to, which is wonderful, or friends doing their own thing. So they think, oh, I'm not going to eat all day, or I'm going to just have coffee or something like that in the morning and save and wait, which is actually really bad for your metabolism. You should, what I tell my clients, eat your same 2 to 3 meals in the morning into the middle of the day, the same, and then your evening is like your big cheat meal. So you're clean and you're following your program, and your body is still working. Never skip breakfast, people. Never skip breakfast. It is really the most important meal of the day. I'm not kidding.
Starts the furnace burning.
It does. It starts your metabolism going. And if you've been on a program for a while, you should notice you are hungry, and if you skip that meal, your body is not going to thank you later, and you'll end up overeating actually, and maybe even being in like pain at the end of it all. But you want to learn to taste and enjoy. So I always say, eat your first 2-3 meals if you're someone that's on a very specific nutrition program. Maybe you have a 5 to 6 meal program in the day, or even somebody that just keeps it very simple. Like you always have your breakfast, you have a mid-morning snack, or maybe like a shake, a protein shake or something like that, and then a small lunch. And then if you're going out for that party, go enjoy. Even if that party starts at 4 o'clock and your day started at 7 or 8 a.m., you shouldn't really change that part of it. And then, maybe you just cater back. And another thing I always suggest is going to work out. If fitness is part of your routine, not everyone is, and that's perfectly fine. But if it is, whether it's you take a walk for 10 minutes in the morning, if that's part of your routine, just to acclimate your body to move up, or if you're someone that's more physically active like we are, and go to gym, go do what you're going to do, go burn more calories, you'll have what we talk about a lot in the training world, a higher metabolic burn later. So go do it, and you'll feel way better later when you're gonna go enjoy, and you actually have a lot more calories to burn. So when you actually are indulging, and you should enjoy, you are burning more of that later on. And the next day too, if you're gonna go work out, you'll have more calories to burn and more energy, so you can do a lot more in your workout. All those extra carbs.
Yeah, I find for me that it's a little bit of the psychological game.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just away for Thanksgiving, and when I was there, I was just like, I knew I wasn't going to do the workout that I've been doing, because I've been doing CrossFit in New York, and now I was in Florida, and I go to the gym there,
You
and
could have found a CrossFit in Florida.
I probably could have. That's
harder.
Next goal. But yeah, there was a gym at the place that I was staying, and there wasn't much there.
No. Okay.
But I still went anyway, and I was just like, I could do my own training. Exactly. Like I have an app on my phone. I just put it on. I was like, whatever you do right now, whatever you do is more than you would do if you weren't doing anything.
Exactly.
So it's like that psychological game of like, okay, I can't do my regular workout, and then you just think, then I won't do anything. Right. But just finding something to do, getting your metabolism going, and just being active and just checking it off your list. So that's just something that I've noticed, and I noticed with other people, it can be an all or nothing game.
Right. Some people think they're all in or not.
Yes, find that middle ground. Say, I'm only here for a few days. Let me just do whatever I can. I think I did like 3 small workouts.
Better than nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you'll feel better afterwards. And you still want to be cool, so it might not be as intense. And you have to remember, creativity apps. Apps are wonderful. So I work with clients, and I'll give them, I call it homework. I give them homework. This is a routine that you can do. I call it a home workout. They have a gym, even like yourself. It's something that you can still do, because you should be learning in that process too. So you learned a lot from CrossFit. So if you saw a blank space, you were able to say, okay, what can I do with this space and with what I have? And like you said, you still can check it off. And I think that's really important for people to say, okay, I did this, I accomplished this, I didn't slacken my routine, and I feel better for it after. Because I don't know about you, but half the battle is getting to the gym, if that's part of your lifestyle, getting to the gym and your workout. So I'm all for it. I do the same thing if I'm traveling. And I have a client that travels a lot. There's like half the time that I see her, she's traveling, and that's part of her life. And for you, for the holidays, a lot of you are probably going to be traveling, and that's perfectly normal. So therefore, you got to figure out what works for you. Home workout apps, if you have a trainer or a coach, make sure they give you something so that you have something to follow, because a lot of people, from what I noticed, they don't know what to do when they're in a gym. If they're going to a gym that's not their usual. If it's not a class, they're not really sure, well, what do I do and what do I put together? But there's so much out there in terms of content on the internet. There's lots of great websites. There's, social media. There's lots that you can find and still say, you know what, I did it, and let me check it off. And therefore, you're going to feel better later when you go enjoy with your family and with your friends. So I'm all for that. I do it.
And even if you're going to like a hotel or a park, and like I said, there is a gym there, but you're not familiar with it, or you are familiar with gyms, and then you go to that one and you're like, this is a gym.
Right.
Just going to the place, like going there and setting aside that time and just showing up to that and say, all right, something's going. So I can do something right here, right now. And for me, movement is a natural de-stressor for me. But I find too, part of the stress game is the stress in our own head of doing it. So it's like, so if you are gone for a few days and you catch yourself thinking of it, just do something. Because even if you do something minimal right afterwards, then you're not thinking about that. So you're relieving an aspect of stress. Just by doing it.
Psychological plays a big role, and it's kind of that check off of progress. Our brains respond to progress and positivity, of course. So if you made the commitment to go to the gym, or maybe it's I'm going to go for a run or for a walk, or I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes as your way of de-stressing. I know for me, working out is my de-stressor. If I don't release endorphins, I'm not so level at the end of the day, but I'm really paying attention to the rest part too. But that's a big part in playing off the psychology, because it's like a battle, right? Like sometimes you're like, I want to go, but I don't want to go. But I know if I get there, I will feel so much better. And check that off, because our brains really do respond to positive progress. So whether it's, your list of to-dos for the day, anything from going to the gym to checking off that I ate breakfast today, or, I didn't eat chocolate today, if that's something, whatever it is for you. And then feeling like that sense of progress, or, hey, I did my to-do list, I showed up to work on time, anything that it is, your brain will naturally respond to that positive progress. I think it's the same thing for like fitness in the holidays too, because then you can then feel a little less, never feel guilty. I say always remove the guilt. I don't believe in it. I've struggled my whole life going from being someone that used to be very overweight to being very healthy and fitness and active, where like you said, the psyche plays the bigger role.
And what does the guilt really do for you? For some people,
Right.
it might motivate them initially, but an overriding sense of guilt over and over is just contributing to stress.
Correct.
So it really doesn't function to get you to do more. So balancing out those feelings with the positivity. And also too, and that transfers to food, kind of like what you were saying with eating the breakfast. I think people think, it's like, oh, I'm going to this holiday party and I'm going to be consuming a lot more calories, right? They think of it in terms of calories and consumption, and it's just like, yeah, but that's okay. Your body can handle the extra consumption today.
Exactly.
Don't get rid of your other meals or
Right.
other times where you might be eating healthy food just because you're going to be eating a lot of less healthy food.
Richer.
So
I
exactly,
say
yeah.
rich food.
You because keep the calories high for that day because it's the ratio of those things together.
Exactly.
So
your body
also-
needs balance at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah.
So if you're always, and I'm not saying, don't stay, we say clean in the industry, like, oh, you eat clean throughout the morning, throughout the day, or you're eating clean through the week, and knowing that, okay, on Friday I've got the holiday party, but you kept clean and consistent, your body actually needs that cheat meal, whether it's like during the holiday time or any time during the year if you're following a specific program. And a program doesn't mean, in my world, it doesn't mean it has to be very detailed and swing the exact portions. A program can be for someone, they go through their routine of their days and then they have that bigger cheat meal or that bigger cheat indulgence. And this is what I teach my clients too about that balance. But your body needs it for the leptin levels. For people that aren't familiar what that is, you actually burn that as fuel because your body's not used to getting those extra calories. So if you're, for those of you that are holidays and you're thinking about that and like you said, outweighing the extra calories that we're going to be intaking, remember your body needs it. And to learn to like still portion and not feel like you should, we eat, there's so much in front of us, it's like too much and then we feel like sick, like, or we overindulge. Balance it and still like listen to your body and know, like, okay, I had enough, or I want a little bit more, and great. And then as long as I'm feeling well the next day, I like to go work out the next day and burn more because I have more fuel, have more carbs, and have more calories, so my body can perform even better with that extra energy in your body.
Well, that's roundabout. It's almost, I feel like it's creating your own strategy for, and it's like, not just that day, but it's also afterwards. And the strategy too, it doesn't have to be so intense and restrictive, but it's almost like laying out the blueprint and then seeing how the day goes. But at least you have that blueprint to like kind of cling to and say, you know what, I'm doing this. And if you go off track a little bit, you can come right back.
Come back.
Exactly.
There's no, for me, as I realize, and working with a variety of different people, I do work mainly with women, but even men, doesn't matter, any age group too, you have to find that balance of what's best for you. So what's best for you isn't what's best for me. And, we all give each other suggestions, so figure out what's best, because, there's always a Monday, there's always a Sunday, and you never have to start, you don't have to wait for a Monday, as I tell people. You can start tomorrow, whether, wherever you are in your health journey, as we like to say. And there's always a restart and there's always a new day. So like you said, it comes full circle, and you need to learn to enjoy and to find balance, because if you didn't find that balance, you wind up depriving yourself a little bit too much. I've battled with that myself, too much deprivation, and then you feel like you're starting all over. So don't start all over, just continue. And it all goes like in waves.
Does a particular client come to mind regarding this issue, or a common thing?
There is one, a client of mine, like I said, she travels a lot, and she's gone through stages of yo-yoing, and she knows she yo-yos, and the biggest part of her yo-yoing was her stress, and realizing stress played a huge factor, because she'd be like all in or nothing, and realizing at this point in her life, being older too, and working for herself also and managing her stress, fitness, exercise was going to be very important to her. So she doesn't want to yo-yo anymore. And by doing that, it's making the commitment of saying, I know I need for myself, I need to be physically active 4 to 5 days a week. I need to have yoga in my life. That is very important to her. And I never take away things that are important to my clients. Like if you're a runner, if you're a yoga, if you like to spin, whatever it is, I never take it away. I always look at it as this is an added component to make you strong, because I love to do a lot of weight training and lifting. So for her to not yo-yo anymore at this point in her life was to manage her stress. Fitness was very important to manage so that she could feel like strong on the inside. As strong as she feels on the inside, show on the outside to people. Because she felt mentally strong at this stage in her life, but her physical didn't show that anymore. And that's because of her yo-yoing throughout her life, where she'd be thin, she'd lose a lot, she'd feel really great, but then because of stress, her eating habits would totally alter. She'd eat very quickly. That's another thing to people to pay very attention to. Take your time. Eating fast, you might not realize it. And that's probably a totally different topic. But that was something that she needed to pay attention to.
That's another one of those, a strategy just going in and to remind yourself that it's like, I do that. Like when I'm sitting at the holiday table, I'm just like, even between, I'm just like chewing on celery or whatever's nearby. I'm just like munching on it. I'm like, keep it all going, keep it all going, so that when the next big meal comes in, it's all ready. Oh, but I see a question here.
Oh, yeah.
It says, what type of exercise, strength, aerobics, etc., is better before, after a big holiday meal? So that's going to be based on an individual, but what's like I guess what's a good go-to, just knowing that the meal is going to be bigger? Well,
no, it's never about time. Some people think they need to spend hours in the gym, and it's not true. You need to maximize that time. I like to do high interval training, high interval circuit training, so that when you're doing high intensity interval training, HIIT, as a lot of people call it, you are pushing your heart rate up and then bringing it down for a little bit of rest and then pushing it, and you actually wind up increasing the amount of calories you burn, not just in that moment, but later. That afterburn is very important. Whereas if you're doing something that is a steady pace cardio, you're really just burning within that time and you're not increasing that metabolic rate for later. So I like to always encourage like a HIIT workout or lifting. Lifting burns tons of calories, and people forget that, and they focus a lot. I find with a lot of my clients, they focus a lot on the cardio, and they come to me mainly because they don't know how to lift weights or what to do, and intimidated by machines. So if you're someone that's already into that, like you did CrossFit, I like to do my own like lifting programs. If you're into that, do your lift, and I like to do my cardio after personally, because then you're actually burning more later during that cardio. So if you can get into a class, cool. If you need to do it on your own, there's lots out there. And make sure those HIIT intervals, their time is really important. Like you push for 30 seconds to 45 seconds and you rest for 15 to 20 seconds, and then you go at it again. And you can do it on, if you're someone that likes to run, you can do HIIT interval sprints too. If you're someone that doesn't like to run, no problem. You can do anything from jumping jacks to burpees to high knees, and running is not the end-all, be-all,
No, but that's a good point, because once again, that's scalable to the amount of time and the amount of effort that you can put in. So if you are away or you have access to a treadmill the day of the holiday party, then you're like, oh, I don't really want to go to the gym. I don't want to spend 2 hours. I have a lot to do today. Then just go there for 20 minutes. And then on the 20 minutes, do the interval training rather than just running for 20 minutes. And then that will be good for the moment. It's like a win-win, right?
Yeah,
because the moment, and then for later on, it's still setting up the.
Correct.
That's great,
so
and that's even with the exercising as well.
Yeah.
I have a Tabata timer.
Yes, Tabata.
So you put the timer on, and with the timer, you just do, like you said, it could be 20 seconds. Sometimes people do 40. Yeah, depending on, and then you do that exercise, and then you take the break, and it creates those interval spikes. So.
And the break is really important to take your rest, but it's about if you do 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest, that 10 seconds should only be 10 seconds, and then it's really hard for you to push to that 20 seconds again, but your heart rate is working, you're burning more fat in that time too, which is really important in that afterburn. So you don't need to be there for an hour. 20 to 30 minutes, like you say. I'm all for a 20-minute cardio HIIT, and then I'm done, and I'm like, gotta go. Cool down, of course, too, and warm up. Always warm up your muscles first, maybe for 5 minutes, but in that 20 minutes of time, you're good, and you're done to go, and then you'll have more energy too later.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing too, is the concept of time, and when am I going to fit it in? And it really isn't as much of a concept of time if you do that type of strategy for a busy time period. It's really just a matter of the focus, like focusing on getting into like whether it's the basement of someone's house that you're staying at, or
outside.
just exactly. If it's not too chilly out, go outside and just do it and set yourself up and do whatever amount. I think that's the key thing for me. It's more the mindset and the focus rather than finding the time, because we're all busy right now, and but it'll benefit you in the long run.
It will, and your stress and how you feel later for the day. Like you said, if you can't get someplace, you've got a room, you've got a house, you've got outside. Jump rope is awesome too. You take a jump rope wherever you go. If you're not good on your jump rope skills, you can practice. But 20 minutes of jump rope is more effective than running for 30, 45 minutes. And yes, it's a skill that you have to learn and practice.
I'm learning that one.
It's a good one. It's a really good skill once you get your
double,
rhythm.
oh my gosh.
Double unders,
yes.
crisscross. I make people jump rope in my class, and I say to people like, okay, you can't manage the jump rope, pretend to start off, like if you didn't, but that's an excellent version of cardio.
Don't underestimate like the simple things like push-ups and jumping jacks. Just jumping jacks are like the perfect interval type thing. Like for a Tabata, if you can't really think of something to do, just do those basic things that you learned when you were a little kid, and because they are very like on and off, so it's setting up that
and good
that
coordination. That hit, jumping jacks, high knees, which are great, push-ups, planking. If you plank for 30 to 45 seconds, you're engaging. You're not just engaging your core. It's over 200 muscles you're engaging, and people forget that. The same thing with squatting, 240 muscles. It's like you're not just using one muscle group. So using those major muscle groups, all together is really going to maximize your efforts.
When I hear planking, I always think of, if you want time to feel like forever, just go in plank position. And then it also reminds me too, partnering up, finding somebody to do it with. So if you are with family, or I have nieces and nephews, and they're fitter than I am right now. But it's good to just say to them, hey, let's just do some planks and some stuff like this. And within 15, 20 minutes, you can get a lot done. It could be fun. You're not really taking yourself out of the holiday spirit or what you feel you need to be doing. So.
And you're still in the holiday spirit if you're doing it with your family too. If you're lucky enough to have family, you're lucky enough to have family that's on your age and fit with you, But maybe sometimes it's you encouraging everybody. Or I tell people okay, you're cooking, do some squats, like squat in the middle, walk around. We're on our feet a lot anyway during the holidays, cooking and helping around with the family. But I'm all for it if you can do it. And if you're in a big city and you can take advantage of being in a bigger city, already, whether you're traveling home for the holidays or not, there's stuff going around. So I always say, you use the Eventbrite, look up local community things. Again, we're in New York City, so there's always something going around. Not everything is closed, so you can go find a community. Because there's still communities out there that want to do stuff, and you get it done early in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day to go enjoy and be with your family and do whatever you got to do. Because it's only 30 minutes to an hour of your day, if that's what you're committing to, or 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and that's it. And then you're good. You're good to go for the rest of the day. So we hope that answered your question.
And I think we've covered a bunch. Do you have any other last tips? I always think bring it back to the psychology too. Just be relaxed about it. Just don't get too stressed.
Don't stress yourself
out.
It's
only this time of the year, and then you get engaged, and you want to show up to these parties, and you want to have fun.
And
like you said, the occasional indulgence is actually in the long run a good thing. I even think of like pies. If you like apple pie, just have it.
That's what I tell people all the time. Like, have it, don't feel guilty, enjoy it, move on. It's next day, because like you said, the psyche is a big thing, and that's, any time of the year, holidays, people get a little bit more lax. You can still stay on your fitness goals, and you can still stay on track without feeling like you got to go all in or nothing, like you were saying before. But yeah, if you want apple pie, have it. If you want chocolate, that's my advice. For anyone who wants to know, that's my advice. Eat your chocolate, have it, enjoy it, and move on. It's not, it's not, the world won't end. Tomorrow's a new day, and you need to learn that throughout all the time, not just during the holidays, of how to balance. It's not something you do every day, but when you want it, have it so that your psyche doesn't go and make you feel guilty or you beat yourself up for having it, or saying, why didn't you have it? And now you eat everything else under the sun that you can get your hands on.
And you're still not satisfied.
Correct. So just eat the thing that's going to satisfy you. And that's the main thing I tell people all the time whenever they start anything. I'm like, if you really want it, and also I think also recognizing, do you want it, or do you crave it, or do you just think you want it,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good point,
so
too.
if you really want it,
yeah,
have it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Beth. I really appreciate you having this discussion with us.
My pleasure.
And I know that it's something that's on the minds of everyone out there during this time. So, and once again, right, it's a holistic view of wellness, and just it will change from time to time. And so just keep having the discussion with people, keep trying these suggestions, different strategies, but also being okay with changing up that strategy. And you have lovely experts like Beth to refer to as resources as you go along on your journey. So everyone enjoy the holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
Right?
Happy holidays to you. And if there are anyone has other questions later on, you can always ask. And hey, another thing I like to tell people, ask your friends what they do too, because someone might have tips that you might not know about until you ask, and then they're more than willing to share. So keep that in mind also. But enjoy the holidays, everybody. It's a wonderful time of year, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.